Day 6, part 1. Wheel arch repair, driver's side. Alrighty. So I'm using this shaper file here to remove a lot of the excess Bondo that I had. Kind of want to do this before it sets up too hard, so you can just save on a little bit of sanding time once you transition to sandpaper. Sandpaper I'll be using is a 40 grit. You just kind of just work it in at the angle, and you work this way and that. You know, I'd put on some kind of protection on your nostrils there so you don't breathe in this fiberglass. Bondo Fill. I'm sure exactly what it's made of. Anyway, I'm just working here at this blade. Kind of helps to get a little bit, you know, like I said, you're gonna have to sand anyway, right? But shoot, I'd rather save my sandpaper, good sandpaper, when I need to get to it closer to the metal than wasting it on just removing this stuff. And I do have might have a little low spot here. I'm gonna throw some tape on there in a minute. Just want to keep the body line until you get down to what once I get to the shape that I'm looking at. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with what's going on with this patch repair. The main thing now is preparation. If you don't put a lot of the proper preparation time into your work before, you know, a lot of it's, yeah, anybody can, I think, can paint, but how smooth is that paint going to be when smooth looking if you didn't really take the proper amount of time sanding and whatnot? So I'm using right now this flexible rubber block, styrofoam block, and let's see here, I'm gonna fix the 40 grit Hercules 40 grit sandpaper, all Harbor Freight. I'm using a rubber block. It will conform to this curve that I want down here. I'm sorry, it's not a rubber block, it's a styrofoam block. I'll show you my rubber block in a minute. And I just kind of go this way and that. Yeah, this stuff rips off pretty quick. That's why I like it. Use a good grit, 36 grit, 40 grit sandpaper. Cuts your sanding time down really, really fast, I've come to find and learn. You can go in circles. You're going to be using a finer sandpaper anyway to get a lot of the 40 grit, so let the grit before scratches out. So I'll probably switch to an 80 grit after this to get these 40 grit scratches out and make it smoother. Yep, definitely use your PPE protection. I'm working outside right now. I don't even have a breeze, but except a fan on my face to kind of blow this stuff out of my face. This stuff will kick up in the air. So you don't want to breathe this stuff in. At least for a long term, right? See right there, I got a little spot, so I'll put some spot filler in there on that metal that's shining. Primer tends to stick better to a scuffed surface than just bare metal. I know it would stick to that, but still. Yeah, when I got a little bit of spot putty on, let's put in there. Yeah. Want to get it nice and smooth. Try to get it straight. If you're still with me, that's great. Having a nice little... It's Saturday we're on, man. Oh, it's Saturday morning. Great day to wake up and do some work. Down there. You kind of, when you work with this stuff, you get a sense of the grain, if there is a perceived grain. Think about it like wood, how it is, the less resistance it is when you're sanding. So you're kind of working with it. No force needed. I let the product do the work. So I always ask myself this question: what is the case of working with your hands? What is it that's so appealing to doing something yourself? And trying to learn a craft, trade, refining your techniques. What is that? What is it that I am constantly seeking by me doing all these little millions of little actions? It's a rhetorical question. What is it that I'm seeking? Since I've been working on these projects the last several years, if you watch me my videos, I think it's the ability to take something that would have been thrown away, otherwise neglected through all the years, and bring it maybe back to life. Learning some particular skills that could be otherwise useful to help others, perhaps even paid if you were to go that route. Maybe using something called talent that you are given from the Lord above. Maybe just the whole, hey, when you're with your friends over your local watering hole, sipping your favorite beverage. What'd you do this week? Well, I did this and I did that. So you want a little bit of bragging rights. Whatever it is, it is. That's not for me. I don't go to watering holes. The only friends I have are, well, they're good friends. So, I don't know. I get inspired when I watch a lot of those do-it-yourselfers out there, those experts that seem to make it look so easy. I guess if I was to put hours and thousands of hours at anything, I would eventually learn by the process. iterative process, probably. Self-improvement. Yep. So there's a curve there. I throw some spot color in there. You remember when I first started out doing this, I was obsessed with trying to get that line going that way to match this. I just couldn't let it go. No, I couldn't. Work this angle just a little bit easier right here. Coolest thing about this project, I just use total investment in tools is probably the Maddox 7-piece file set from Harbor Freight was like $40, and I've used probably every little bit of those tools. The hammer forming, so $40 in investment there, and the welder at some point I paid $170. That's $210, right? And the wire, I bought some extra Vulcan 0.030 wire. The welder was a Flux core titanium 125 Easy Flux, right? And the Vulcan wire is 0.030 Flux core wire. So what was that? $210, right? I've had a bunch of hammers and stuff I've accumulated over the years for odd things. They're body hammers and I didn't really know it. I used to do some carpentry work and a whole bunch of extra stuff. So I just grabbed hammers that would do the job, not knowing what they were. They just seemed to fit the job quite well. And I'm just kind of scratching along here. Get that a little bit lower. So if you're still with me, are my techniques efficient? Probably not. But are they effective? I will say yes. It's the end result. The means justifies the ends. Then you should take some air bottle there, or plug and tar wax grease remover, and blow this panel off when you're done before you actually get it to primer. I just like the little details that come with this, just doing this work. I also find satisfying, paying attention to the little details. Again, this is a 25-year-old truck, 1998. Don't know exact history, other than I know there's two owners before me. Had been sitting up in some kind of field somewhere, and I said it's a 4-wheel drive manual transmission. Has modern electronics, modern this and that. Touch on the fly 4-wheel drive. Everything works. Why not? So I bought it back in early part of September 2021, I recall. Been working on it since. Yeah. So I'm liking that right there. Find that sometimes if I go a little circular lines like so, and scratches aren't so apparent when I switch to a finer grade. You got to find out. I call this experiential learning. If anything, you got to experience it. You can read a book, watch a YouTube video, talk to the experts all day long. But if you don't do it yourself at some point, all you are is a well-informed, knowledgeable, educated, informed, but you have the knowledge. No, not if you don't have experience in doing it, I don't think. So what is wisdom? Knowledge plus experience? 'Cause I can tell you what it takes at this point. Because I put some hours into this thing. And under my other couple of years of doing this a little bit. Just a little bit, like I said. But at least I know for myself what kind of works now and what don't. But I'm still learning. That's why I call this a learning vehicle. Still investing in tools. I don't know how long I'll keep this truck. I guess till it serves its purpose. And hopefully the next person that buys it will take care of it, or I don't know. But it's maybe it will last another 25 years. So I think that might show up in the paint, right? So I might just hammer this down a little bit here, flat. Just a little bit flatter. Just a little bit of hammer. Because this is where the patch is, as you can see. And I know that would show up in the paint. So hammer this down just a little bit. Hammer that down. And I'll put some more Bondo over it. Touch up some Bondo here. And do that. Well, it was great hanging out with you guys this morning. My thoughts were a little bit lucid and gelling together. Alright, so this ends day 6, part 1. You guys have a great Ablecraft day, and just keep doing. You can do it.